All right, there we go. I'm all cleaned up. You can see that there's some snow here that's been depressed. You can tell I've been here. But if there was no snow on the ground, there'd be no way for anybody to know that I was here. Hammocks are pretty low impact, like that. I was listening to Deer Spellbook, the first book of Deer Spellbook. Let's see. It's been enjoyable. It's got a weird conceit, though, that doesn't always make sense. The conceit being that the book is written from the perspective of, like in the format of a diary, being addressed from our author, the main character, to his spell book. There are occasional notes, but it certainly is more awkward than a normally written book. There we go. The story's been okay. This is not a book I'll probably DNF. I do have a new Quest Academy on deck, though. That should be good. And of course, about 30 other books downloaded and waiting on my device. Because what I typically do when I'm out here in the woods all alone is listen to my audiobooks. I've now got a pair of Nothing earphones from the brand Nothing. I think I've tightened these up a little too hard. There we go. And I like them partially because they're light and over ear, and so you can hear what's around you, kind of. Though with audiobooks, I pretty much zone in and have to pause it if anybody talks to me. But my other headphones, and what I think is typical, is like a little, I don't know, capacitive touch, is that what they call it? You just touch it and it responds, which can get awkward for accidental touches, especially if you're like lying down in a hammock and turning your head and going fetal or something to really get comfortable. These guys are pinch to do it. There's a portion of it that you pinch, and that does the start and stop or answer or whatever. They work out well, especially under a hat, which is how I have them. But I'm out here, you know, all year long pretty much. Though we'll see how that proceeds as winter continues. My being out here at, I don't know, something under 40 degrees but above freezing has been fine. Of course, when I got into my hammock, so I had hiked that distance and then found myself kind of overheating. I've got underwear on, and then long johns, and then a pair of sweatpants. And I think this might be the first time I've worn them. I got them at Sam's Club. And when I first adjusted them, I'm like, oh, this adjustment kind of sucks. It feels weird. What is going on there? So I looked down at it, and I saw that the sweatpants were not just a simple hole where a string has been drawn through the sweatpants and you just tie. That's normal. What these guys are is two holes, and when you pull, they like go through, and there's two holes, and so as you pull out, it doesn't pull back against the fabric, it just pulls through the holes in both directions. That's what made it feel funny when tying it off, but when you do tie it off, it's solid. So, I think it works out pretty well. I'll probably get some more of those. Because one of the problems when you're out here with a backpack on is your freaking pants falling down. And having to adjust my freaking belt, and so you don't want to have a big like leather belt underneath you. And so you opt for some kind of webbing related belt that is easy to adjust. I've got some of those at home, but they still have fairly robust buckles. And so I don't know if I necessarily want to have that in between my hip belt on my backpack and my body. So, in a fit of madness, a couple weeks ago I decided that I was going to research and purchase some suspenders. I'm wearing them now, and they are holding up my snow pants. A lot of snow pants have kind of like an integrated suspender that will crawl up your back, and so it's more of a snowsuit. These are just the pants. And I took a pair of, I had purchased two suspenders, because what the hell, they were only like $10 each. And I got them, they're robust, designed to be like good. And they've been good so far. Good claws on the end. So, one of the things that I changed in between chilling out in the hammock and coming back out was I tried to pack up my 0 degree underquilt into the extra large Bishop bag. Lo and behold, the damn thing fit. Which means that my hammock is no longer on the outside of my bag, but rather is there on the inside of my bag, inside of a structure, and so it's not entirely, I guess, not entirely efficient when it's inside of another structure because there's going to be a gap. Whereas if it were not inside of the Bishop bag, I just kind of shoved it in there, it would be more efficient inside of the bag, inside of the backpack, but might take up more space. if I have it, or scrunched down in a weird dimension. Not that that matters. But then when I take it out of the pack, like it's just open and I have to figure out which end is which and whatever. The bishop bag has an opening on one end and a slit on the other that you simply pass the continuous loop, larks headed onto your hammock's continuous ridgeline, through. And so you can pretty much, I put that little loop facing up, and so now I'll open up my backpack, fish through, my insulation and whatnot to find that bag, and then find the continuous loop and just pull it out. And now I've got a fully filled bishop bag that I can attach to my straps. Now, before I was like, which end should I attach first? Attach to the tree first, the foot or the head end? And the way that I decide which is going to be foot and which is going to be head is the visibility that I want from the trail, or really the visibility that I want from the hammock. So usually in a situation like this, I want my feet pointed toward the trail because I want to see other people approaching me. But if I'm backpacking or truly in the middle of nowhere, off trail or something, then I don't really care about that. Maybe I'm on the top of a mountain, at the edge of a cliff that gives me a good view. I might want to go in that direction. Though honestly, for the hammocks, you're usually looking up in the air. And so that is what it is. All right. If I recall correctly, we were moving north, and this way is back. So let's check my thing here. All right. Maybe I'll bust out with my map. You know what I forgot to do? What I'm trying to do is kind of keep track of my stuff. Look, a little beaver loop thing. You probably saw that before I did. Beaver loop. I think that's the one I was on. Now, the problem with these guys is they don't have a thumb that is detachable. My other ones that are lighter, I should probably be using, and I believe are in here somewhere. I think they're in the top lid. Maybe I should move them down. Those have a removable thumb. And rather than this crappy little Velcro enclosure, which does not work very well, it has a magnetic one, which does not work very well. But at least it works sometimes. And the thumb comes out. It's also designed for I felt that it would be not warm enough if I were to come out here with it initially, and maybe in the hammock, right? It wouldn't be warm enough. But as I'm out doing my thing, it's probably smarter to use those. Anyway, I wanted to open up all trails. And I am right next to the trailhead. So I want to go straight and bang a left, and I'll be right at the trailhead. Too bad I did not record this. Maybe next time. You can see my, well, is this my feet? No, it's not. Somebody else's feet. Probably. My tread was perfect there. That might have been my feet. It seemed like it was walking the other direction though. And I would have been walking opposite that. These snow pants have got kind of gaiter attached to them that I didn't use, but I probably should. You know, one of those gaiters that is attached inside of this thing, probably designed for ski boots. As I say that, it seems unlikely, because it's just got a simple, hook on the end that's supposed to hit one of your laces. Ideally the flat, straight lace at the end, closest to your toes. I actually have another set of gaiters. These are the heavy duty outdoor research, don't mess with me gaiters that I've used in the past in the winter when I might not be wearing something like this. If I'm snowshoeing, something along those lines. Or, well, it's been too long since I've been cross-country skiing. Maybe this year I'll bust out. I don't really have any skis appropriate for this. I like backcountry skis, and I really loved having cross-country skis that had metal edges that you could carve with, but that were not so robust as to be classified as telemarking skis. Those are cross-country skis you take onto a ski mountain and freaking ski differently with them. It's quite a workout. But to take it on a flat trail like this, I want something lighter. Man, have I missed something? Where's the trail? Am I back? You little bastard. Yep. I've gone the wrong way. I should have gone right when I went left. Right. And then left. All right. When you're out here all by yourself, and all you've got is like a map, you don't have another person who's been here before that knows how to get you to and fro. You gotta head check yourself every so often. There we go. If you don't, you'll find that you went too far in the wrong direction. When I was out the other day, I had set up and then headed back, and so I was like walking really weird. I was trying to get some, I guess, extra exercise in. So I was lifting my knees up high and breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth. And instead of listening to my book, or narrating, as I am right now, I was listening to some music. And according to the rhythm of the music, I would walk like I was dancing out there. Another benefit of being all by myself in the woods. Can be as odd as I want without having to feel judged by others. And so I was doing this weird thing out in the woods. Set up because I got tired in about a half a mile in. I wasn't doing it for the whole half mile, but at some point I started doing that. Let's call it a quarter mile, maybe. Anyway, I got tired. And I said, I'm going to set up. And so I did that. And then, I was done. I walked back, sat down, and realized that, oh crap, I left my glasses there. I had strung them up on my hammock ridgeline and forgotten about them. And I could not find them. So back I went. And that distance at that point was nothing because I wasn't doing that crazy stuff. I found them because I also, in this pack, I keep headlamps and whatnot. And so I was able to find my glasses. And there we go. Add on another mile to that hike. Which was really just it seems to be a nice day. I'll go out, find somewhere in the woods, and chill out all by myself. Listen to my book. Enjoy being outside in nature. Beyond trying to put miles on, I think that's where, especially through hikers, miss the mark. Through hikers suffer from bone density issues after the fact. So after they do like the AT, the Appalachian Trail, where they've been out there for, I don't know, 3 months, busting their hump, trying to get in 20, 30 miles every day and taking rest days. When they get back, not only do they want to sleep on their garage floor, but their bone density is at the level of somebody who was an astronaut orbiting the Earth and coming back. And the only difference is that the astronauts suffer that bone density deficiency permanently. As far as I know, maybe it's just for a longer time. Whereas thru hikers slowly recover. But still, this bone density loss is attributed to the extreme stress that these people put themselves under. Okay, so I did this. And really, you need to ask yourself, why am I out here in the first place? Is it to check off something on a list? Is it to fit in with everybody else? Woo! And be part of this culture? One of the benefits of hiking poles. They catch you when you make mistakes. Or at least they can. Use them, right? I'm going to want to be careful around this because last time I sloshed into it. I think they're better off hiking their own hike. And that's where section hiking comes in. You know, you drive to a trailhead, you do a section of a big trail, and then you're done. And you don't worry about putting tens of miles on. The fact of the matter is, not everybody can do that in the first place. And I don't think it should be an aspiration. Sure, as you grow more comfortable on the trail, you're going to naturally just like hike longer, especially if you're by yourself. But to bust your hump every day, I don't know. I'd rather go at a more leisurely pace and enjoy myself and not suffer from bone density loss.